Hey friends, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the TV shows that got me, someone who would never watch TV, actually addicted or rather start watching TV. And since you know that it's coming from someone who never watches TV in the first place, you know that they have to be good. So I'm going to give my recommendations based in increasing importance. So wait till the end for the best TV show that I recommend everyone watches. So the first thing you must know is that the TV shows that I'm going to mention, they're all about watching TV intelligently. Or rather, they are more of like the intelligent yet funny types. They're like the guy in your class who's always like a great clown and he's having a great time. Everyone loves him. He's making all the jokes. The teachers love him. Everybody loves him. Yet at the end, he still gets the marks, he still tops the class, and he's still really popular. So these are the TV shows I'm trying to talk about. The ones that are really, really intelligent below a facade of like humor. So the first TV show that I have to recommend is BoJack Horseman. It's set in a world, a fictitious world or an alternative reality in which there are anthropomorphic animals living alongside human beings. And as a bonus, it is set in Hollywood. So it follows the life of this struggling, washed up actor who is BoJack Horseman, and as his name suggests, he's a horse and a man. To be absolutely frank, I can think of no better show to put me in a good, deep existential crisis. And for that alone, you must watch BoJack Horseman because it really, really hits you right in the heart. It hits you right in the heart and in the head. BoJack is more of the typical anti-hero than anything. You can see that by the way through which he destroys his own life, then proceeds to systematically or chaotically destroy the lives of those around him. And while you feel like you're rooting for him, you are at the same time also repulsed by him. So I really, really recommend this TV show, and it's really unfortunate that it ended, but at least you know that the time you're going to procrastinate for is actually limited. The next TV show that I absolutely have to recommend is not a Netflix original. It's The Good Place, which first premiered on NBC or something, I believe. The Good Place is basically a really in-depth look at a lot of deep philosophical issues like, the purpose of life, what happens after you die, what is good and evil, how to be a good person. But it looks at all of this in the most funny and light-hearted manner imaginable. Frankly speaking, I think just watching The Good Place alone can change a lot of things within you. Like you start to look at the world from a completely different perspective. In fact, it's in The Good Place that I learned the concept of moral desert. This is how many people, they don't do good things because they're good, but they do good things with the expectation of a reward later. After season 1, where the show is really interesting in the first place as well, the show just really, really picks up speed. And it's like one really, really addictive adventure from the beginning to the end. So you have to watch this TV show as well. Sometimes I feel that it gets a bit too overwhelming. It's like La Casa de Papel, which is a TV show I do not recommend because I feel it's basically just like a thriller all the time. But The Good Place is a thriller in the good way. It's also really intelligent. So I dare say that by watching this show alone, maybe your IQ will go up by like 5 points or something. You never know. So anyways, moving on. The next show I've got to recommend to you is The End of the Fucking World. And this show is actually a really good dark comedy. That's basically what it is. Although the plot does wear a bit thin in certain places and you don't really know how like the things fit together, but recently they launched a season 3 or something, or maybe that was last year, I don't remember. But it was based on some comic, and this is actually one of the best dark comedies that I've come across in a long, long time. So the basic premise is that there's this one guy who believes he's a psycho, and then there's this one girl who's really unhappy at home because her mother married a man she does not like and who does not like her back in return. Basically, they steal his father's car and escape across the country, and all sorts of crazy things happen in the meantime. In fact, the main standout quality of this show is the dark humor in it. So you have to watch it just in order to get exposed to that kind of humor. Moving on from The End of the Fucking World, we have the cult classic Community. And if you don't know Community, then you probably aren't on Reddit, or you probably aren't on Reddit. Community is about a bunch of people who form a study group in a community college, hence the name Community. But they're also a community, therefore it's a pun. And again, Community is by the great, venerable Dan Harmon, or the least intelligent show of all the other shows I'm going to recommend, and I have recommended. Yet it's also like a bit of mindless watching. If you just want to watch something without thinking too much, or without being led to think too much. Finally, the TV show that actually got me hooked onto watching TV so I could have conversations with my friends was Rick and Morty. And Rick and Morty is hands down the TV show that you probably are really going to enjoy. Rick and Morty is like the pinnacle of dark comedy plus intelligent commentary plus philosophical things. It's like all the other shows put together, combined, and creating one massive nihilistic show. It's again from the same guy who created Community, who is Dan Harmon. The loosely related stories of the universe's smartest man, Rick Sanchez, who's a scientist or a mad scientist, and his grandson Morty. And you guessed it, the characters are very loosely based off Back to the Future, but in this case they are really, really crazy characters, like incredibly mind-bogglingly crazy. So if there's one TV show out of this entire list that you try out, then I highly recommend you watch Rick and Morty, because I'm guessing and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and share this video with that one guy in class, or one guy in school, or one guy wherever you are, who does not watch any TV at all. Because I used to be like that guy. I used to be that guy who used to only read books and claim that all TV was rubbish. But actually there are these really good TV shows out there which could have the same effect on you as a good book, if not better. So remember to share with that guy and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.